If you or someone you know receives Social Security benefits by paper check, you need to hear this immediately, because after September 30th, 2025, those checks will stop coming forever. In the next few minutes, I'm going to break down everything you need to know about this massive change that affects over 500,000 Americans. You'll learn exactly what's happening, who's impacted, what your options are, and most importantly, how to make sure you don't miss a single payment. This information could literally save you from missing your benefits. Welcome to Financial Area, where we break down the financial news and changes that directly impact your life. If this information helps you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more essential financial updates. Let's start with what's actually happening here. The Social Security Administration has announced that September 30th, 2025 marks the official end of paper checks for all Social Security benefits. This isn't just a suggestion or a gradual phase-out, it's a hard deadline. After that date, no more paper checks will be mailed out for Social Security retirement benefits, disability payments, supplemental security income, or VA benefits. This decision comes from Executive Order 14247, which mandates that all federal payments must be made electronically. The government's reasoning is simple. They want to modernize the system, improve efficiency, and reduce costs. Processing paper checks is expensive and time-consuming, so they're pushing everyone toward digital payments. Now, you might be thinking this doesn't affect many people, and you'd be partially right. Currently, fewer than 1% of all Social Security beneficiaries receive paper checks. But here's what that small percentage actually means in real numbers. We're talking about over 500,000 Americans who will be directly impacted by this change. Who are these people? They're primarily older adults who have been comfortable with traditional payment methods their entire lives. Many are in their 70s, 80s, or 90s, and they've been receiving paper checks for decades. They know exactly when that check arrives each month. They know how to deposit it, and they trust the system as it is. A significant portion of these beneficiaries live in rural areas where banking options might be limited, internet access can be spotty, and the idea of managing finances digitally feels foreign or intimidating. These aren't people who are necessarily comfortable with online banking or smartphone apps. They're people who have relied on tangible physical checks as their lifeline. The concern here isn't just about inconvenience. For many of these individuals, their Social Security or disability payment represents their primary or only source of income. Missing even one payment could mean the difference between paying rent and facing eviction, between buying groceries and going hungry, between getting medication and going without. So, what are your options if you're currently receiving paper checks? The government is offering two main alternatives, and it's crucial that you understand both of them. The first option is direct deposit, and this is what the Social Security Administration is encouraging everyone to choose. With direct deposit, your benefits are automatically transferred into your bank account on the same schedule as before. You just won't receive a physical check in the mail. Instead, the money appears in your account electronically. Setting up direct deposit is actually straightforward if you have a bank account. You can do this in person at your bank by bringing your Social Security award letter and a voided check or deposit slip. The bank staff can help you fill out the necessary forms and submit them to the Social Security Administration. If you're comfortable using the internet, you can also set up direct deposit online through your My Social Security account. You'll need to create an account if you don't already have one, which requires some personal information and verification steps. Once you're logged in, you can add your banking information and make the switch electronically. But what if you don't have a traditional bank account? This is where the second option comes in, and it's called the Direct Express card. This is a government-issued debit card that works exactly like any other debit card you might use. Your benefits get loaded onto this card each month, and you can use it to make purchases, withdraw cash from ATMs, or pay bills. The Direct Express card is designed specifically for people who don't have bank accounts or who prefer not to use traditional banking services. There's no credit check required, no minimum balance, and no monthly fees for basic services. You can get cash back at stores when you make purchases, and you can check your balance online or by phone. This card is accepted anywhere that takes MasterCard, which means you can use it at grocery stores, pharmacies, gas stations, and for online purchases. You can also set up automatic bill payments for utilities, rent, or other recurring expenses. Now, the government does recognize that some people might face genuine hardship in making this transition. If you have a disability that makes it difficult to manage electronic payments, if you live in an area with extremely limited banking access, or if you have other circumstances that make the switch particularly challenging, you can apply for what's called an undue hardship exemption. This exemption would allow you to continue receiving paper checks even after the September 30th deadline. However, getting this exemption isn't automatic. You'll need to submit a formal request explaining your specific situation and why electronic payments would create a genuine hardship for you. The key word here is undue. The government isn't going to grant exemptions just because someone prefers paper checks or finds electronic payments inconvenient. You'll need to demonstrate that making the switch would create significant difficulties that go beyond normal inconvenience. If you think you might qualify for an exemption, you should contact the Social Security Administration as soon as possible to discuss your situation and understand what documentation you'll need to provide. Here's what you need to do right now if you're currently receiving paper checks. First, don't wait until the last minute. The closer we get to September 30th, the more overwhelmed the system will become with people trying to make the switch. Start this process as soon as possible. If you're going to set up direct deposit, gather the information you'll need: your Social Security number, your bank account number, and your bank's routing number. You can find the routing number on your checks or by calling your bank directly. If you're going to use the Direct Express card, you can apply online at the Direct Express website or by calling their toll-free number. The application process is relatively simple, but it does take some time to receive your card and activate it. Make sure you have all your documentation ready. You'll need your Social Security award letter, which shows your current benefit amount and payment schedule. If you can't find this letter, you can request a new one through your My Social Security account or by calling the Social Security Administration. One critical mistake to avoid is assuming that someone else will handle this for you. The Social Security Administration will send out notices about this change, but mail can get lost. People move, and sometimes these notices don't reach everyone who needs to see them. Don't rely on getting a reminder. Take action now. Another mistake is waiting to see if the deadline gets extended. While advocacy groups are pushing for more time, there's no guarantee that the government will change this deadline. Plan as if September 30th is firm, because it very well might be. The advocacy community is genuinely concerned about this transition, and for good reason. Many advocacy groups that work with seniors and people with disabilities are worried that the government hasn't given people enough time to prepare for this change. They're also concerned that not everyone who needs to know about this change will receive adequate notice. These groups are particularly worried about people who live alone, who don't have family members checking on them regularly, or who might not fully understand what they need to do. There's a real risk that some people will simply not make the transition and will miss their benefits as a result. The Social Security Administration has said they'll conduct outreach efforts to inform people about the change, but advocacy groups argue that these efforts need to be more comprehensive and start sooner. They're pushing for extended deadlines, more assistance programs, and better communication strategies. There are resources available to help people navigate this transition. The Social Security Administration has customer service representatives who can walk you through the process over the phone. Many banks also have staff who are trained to help customers set up direct deposit for government benefits. Local senior centers, disability advocacy organizations, and social services agencies may also offer assistance with this transition. Don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. This is a significant change, and it's completely normal to need support in making the switch. This brings me to perhaps the most important point of this entire video. If you're not personally affected by this change, you probably know someone who is. Maybe it's a parent, a grandparent, a neighbor, or a friend.
These might be people who don't watch YouTube videos about financial news, who aren't on social media, or who might not even know this change is coming. You have an opportunity right now to potentially save someone from missing their benefits. Reach out to the older adults in your life. Ask them how they currently receive their Social Security or disability payments. If they're getting paper checks, help them understand what's happening and what they need to do. This isn't just about being a good neighbor or family member. This is about preventing a potential crisis for some of the most vulnerable people in our communities. Missing a Social Security payment isn't just an inconvenience for someone living on a fixed income. It can be devastating. Look for warning signs that someone might be at risk of missing this deadline. Are they isolated? Do they have difficulty managing their finances? Are they resistant to change or fearful of technology? Do they have cognitive challenges that might make it harder to understand what they need to do? If you identify someone who might struggle with this transition, consider offering concrete help. Offer to go with them to the bank to set up direct deposit. Help them call the Social Security Administration. Assist them with creating a My Social Security account online. Sometimes just having someone there for moral support can make all the difference. The reality is that this change is happening whether we like it or not. September 30th, 2025 is not that far away. And for over 500,000 Americans, this deadline represents a critical moment. With the right preparation and community support, everyone can make this transition successfully. But it's going to take awareness, action, and people looking out for one another. The government has made this decision, and now it's up to all of us to make sure that no one falls through the cracks. If this video helped you understand what's happening with Social Security payments, please hit that like button and share it with anyone who might need this information. And make sure to subscribe to Financial Area for more updates on changes that affect your financial life. The more people who know about this change, the better we can protect our communities from missing out on the benefits they've earned and depend on.